Esports.
Hi guys, we're back for episode number 5. Today I'm going to be interviewing my co-host, Alex Nancarrow. Right.
We're maybe not as special, but I think it's still nice for you guys to know who we are and where we're from.
So Alex, tell us a little bit about your tennis background.
I was born in Australia. I started tennis when I was 4. I was hitting the ball over the net by 4 as well, and I played my first tournament when I was 6. I moved to Spain when I was 15. I moved to Barcelona actually, and I was professionally ranked by then. And I decided to pursue a career in tennis, and I reached about 300 in the world. I was lucky enough to play Australian Open and represent my country from the age of 11 all the way through up to the Australian Open as well. So that I was training 6 hours a day, no problems. We were traveling maybe 35 to 40 weeks of the year. And whilst I wasn't on TV or as part of the WTA tour, I was still grinding it out and doing my best there. And it was such an enjoyable experience. And I'm so glad I went all in at it as well. So after that, I went into some coaching as well. So I've coached everyone from a complete beginner who is a child to a complete beginner who is an adult, all the way through to competition and elite athletes as well on the tour. So
how long ago did you stop being a pro?
I moved back to Australia when I was, I would say 5 years ago. So the reason I stopped was because I got an injury in my hand, hindered me from warming up.
How did you find out about Tennis Esports and how did you get involved?
Yeah, so Gregory, he reached out to me via LinkedIn. He's famous on LinkedIn. But maybe at the start of 2021, I also reached out to him at the same time. I was working on strategy consulting for KPMG at that stage, and I was looking to improve my skills in terms of a business consultant, and I thought that this would be a really, really cool feature and opportunity to just be part of a futuristic organization and a futuristic product, which I saw so much potential for. So we had been working together for about a year, and I've been working as the Chief of Strategy and Partnerships for 6 months with Tennis Esports. And so I finished my career in Spain. I wasn't quite ready to move back to Australia, so I started my coaching career there. I then moved back eventually and decided to pursue economics and international relations at the Australian National University. And between then I worked maybe 8 or 9 jobs trying to figure out what I was trying to do. And I landed on being an economic advisor for the Prime Minister and Cabinet in Australia.
Tell us a little bit then about your day-to-day. What do you do for Tennis Esports?
Yeah, so as Chief of Strategy and Partnerships, I do 2 things. Strategy, I manage the strategy from start to finish of the product. So I'm in charge of defining the product, defining the target markets, how we enter each market in terms of the US or the UK or differences, how we analyze different types of, products and research, so we can make sure that what we are working towards every day actually provides service for everyone else out there as well to use. The communication that we have towards the globe, essentially, we formulate partnerships just like Turkey Tennis, just like perhaps our presence at the US Open with Wilson Sporting Goods. Part of my role is to showcase to others how we can provide value to you through virtual reality tennis. And the other role as an ex-professional tennis player is to ensure that the VR product and what we're doing here simulates tennis as closely as possible. So top spin, 2 serves, 2 slices.
Alex, you are honestly one of the busiest people I've seen. She's always in a meeting, always full of ideas, giving feedback to the developers. So with that sort of experience, what do you see the future of tennis esports being in the world of tennis?
Yeah, sure. That's a really, really cool question, and something I really, really love to answer. So in the immediate term, we're in the Oculus App Lab, which means we're pre-supermarket shelf, you could say. We launch on the Oculus Store in May 2023 with 2 key features. One is esports and 2 is a tennis tool or technical analysis. Now, firstly, with Tennis Esports, we really want to make a virtual sport here. Now, I think that our product is amazing because from anywhere in the world, you can play and simulate tennis as closely as possible. And that's something that we've never had before. So from that, we want to create tournaments, we want to create leagues, just like we're doing here with the Tennis Esports Cup. We want to broadcast this live, and we want to really showcase how interactive this can be. So imagine you're watching from your mobile phone and you're sending your likes directly to the player who's playing from another place in the world. So that's really, really something we're super excited about. We also want to utilize that as a platform for experimentation and to bring in new types of tennis formats, such as shorter games or timed games like heats, as well as teams events, and bringing the esports flavor onto tennis. So that's something that we're really excited about. Secondly, I touched on a VR tennis tool, which I am so proud of and can't wait to show you guys. It is essentially starts out as technical analysis. That can be from teaching beginners how to play tennis, so everything from your forehand to your backhand to the correct grips, all the way through to tracking the progression of anyone's technique. So in a nutshell, with the beginner tennis lessons, we can be teaching high school students, your children, your mum and dad, anyone, the basics of tennis before they step out onto the tennis court. So they won't need a racket, they won't need the shoes, they won't need to coordinate a coach or pay for the court. You can be sitting at home, or you can contract your club to then provide you with these basic pre-tennis lessons at a cheaper offering, so you get that fast track into being a tennis pro. We want to increase participation and also increase engagement and enhance the player experience. What that means is perhaps it will be a training tool, but it will also be a way to fast track people who may not necessarily have access or have the exposure to tennis that they had before. So now we can teach them the basics of tennis and really, really encourage them to play tennis on the real court as well through these basic tennis lessons. And I think that this can be a strong tool to promote our everlasting sport. So what we've got at the moment is potential to enhance or track the progress of your technique from frame by frame. Month to month, you're having that check-in, you're talking to your coaches are giving you some tips, and at the same time, you're both collaborating on how this works for you. We understand tennis is a subjective sport, and we have to find out what works for you in terms of a coach, but also your technique. And so we can tailor that towards yourself. This tool probably could have saved me a lot of headaches before then and a lot of tears. And we're only going to get better. Apple are releasing next year. Meta are investing heavily. So I can't wait for it.
Awesome. All right, guys, if you have any more questions for Alex, send us a message, get in contact with our socials. They should be below. We'd love to know your thoughts. And until next time, we'll see you then. See you later.
Bye.